It's me. Beautiful day today. Go and deliver my stove. Got in the back of my pickup. Be kicking out, partying. Then I'm gonna go read for a couple hours and go to my doctor's appointment. I might go up to Athens. Just kick it. You know, I lifted weights my whole life, and I knew limited anatomy. But I've gotten into it a lot more in the last 10 years. And now I'm looking at all the muscle movements and the muscles that come into play. And I was looking at one-armed bent over rows. And I'm really going to work on areas that I never did before, like little small muscles, triangular muscles, like at the top between your shoulder blades. That, you'd wonder what somebody was doing if you saw them doing that exercise, just for fun, And somebody sent me an email about working out, older guy my age. And yes, I do. I take supplements of the yin yang. I do. There are two premium versions of creatine and whey protein. The whey protein's from New Zealand, and the creatine is from New Zealand as well. It's kind of, everything. What's expensive, right? It's relative. All you can do, read the reviews, see what people say, and buy it. And to taste, and as far as results, I'm not so sure you'd know a good one from a bad one. At this stage of the game, I'm lucky to be doing anything, to tell you the truth. Now, I will tell you this. I do know at this age, I'll give you a perfect example. Yesterday, and it's like I was feeling good. I've been just eating everything under the sun because I've been working out a lot, taking my supplements. And I'm not a big breakfast guy, which is a mistake, but I don't care. It's like I'm just trying to get in as good a shape I can for as lazy as I can. So I worked out really hard yesterday, and then it just worked out where I wasn't able to eat until I went to that Indian restaurant. Well, I worked out super hard, and I can tell that my brain is getting overloaded with that kind of heavy weight at this age. It's not like I was young. And honestly, I worry about it. Not having a heart attack or anything. But I know after I've worked out, I think I'll go walk 6 miles too. And I've done that a couple of times, and the next day felt dead. And I think there's a casual link to excessive working out in days like that. So I thought, I can't be doing those. I'm feeling good at the time. And I thought, so I just lifted weights yesterday. But when that hunger feeling kicks in, I couldn't eat enough yesterday. See, I got 2 vegetarian things. I stay away from bread. Ate that big ass full order of tandoori chicken. Then got home, had 2 bowls of Raisin Bran as my dessert. A half a quart of carrot juice, and I was still hungry, so I had a can of tomato soup. Now, I know from doing that in the past, when I was young, it's no problem, but I think there may be a link to that in this gastro problem. So what I did is just drank crazy amounts of water. I bet I drank a gallon of water. And I feel pretty damn good today. I did have some crazy dreams, but even though I'd like to do it 6.4 mile walk, I'm not going to do it. And I'm wondering if I was just, overdoing it. It doesn't seem like you're doing it when you're doing it. And I read an article on neurological effects with muscle tissue delays. I was a sprinter, but not a long distance runner. Those guys that run those world-class times, they'll be not do shit for a week. And I just wonder, because I'm old and working out too hard, that even though it isn't super obvious, God damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that could be part of the problem. Now, that's not all the problem, because I was feeling crappy before I was working out again. I lost all that weight because of a stomach problem, which I'm going to get treated for today. And then I just stuck with it. I kept a healthy diet. I started working out. I don't know, it's just, you're always kind of searching for to complete the puzzle on. But I hope it's just not being old. That sucks. I'm giving this to a fire chief in a small town. Stove. Big deal, right? I mean, I count that as nothing too, just like giving. Oh, speaking of that, you know the lady that was with the walker the other day? I gave her my phone number, and the phone rang yesterday, and I put it in my phone like lady with walker, Crawfordville. And sure, it rang, and I knew who was calling. I think her name's Sarah. She said, "Hey, Tom, how you doing?" It's like, good. She's a lonely lady, right? I will visit her and bring her little gifts. Big fucking deal. I mean, I go right by there. She said, I had a car stole and blah, blah, blah. Typical ex-homeless people with their normal cachet of problems. But I agreed to do it. So I'm going to take her up to Athens next week to straighten out some problems she had. I don't know what they are exactly. I don't mind. And she said she insists on paying me gas money. Now this is what I do. This is how I do it. Before you anoint me as the greatest person in the world and how I do things, this is what I do. It's not all glitter and lights. Just like people that visit. My YouTube people that I've not met. I'm right around the corner from you coming down here any fucking time you want to. And you just come and go as you please and don't bug me. I don't care if you're a drop-dead gorgeous supermodel. I don't want to be hanging around with anybody. Don't take it personally. I don't do it. I just like that. Marty's that way too. So anyway, I said, Sarah, I'm going to be straight with you now, right? I mean, she was homeless. You can tell, a rough life. She said, please do. I said, no, look, I'm going to tell you. I'll be glad to do these things for you, okay? But when we go up to Athens now, I'm going to drop you off and go do some other shit. Lots of things. I go up there all the time. And just do your thing. You need to get picked up and go to another building. I'll come get you. I'll take you to the other building. But I don't want to be fucking around, hanging out all day with you doing your things. I'll be glad to take you where you go. But I want to go do my things while we're up there. She said, I get it. See what I mean? Like people say, hey, Tom, I'd like to come down and visit. It's like, hey, you're more than welcome to visit. But maybe we'll get something to eat one night. And then you just come and go as you please. You got your own room. You got your own access out of the house. French doors, own shower. Fuck around the kitchen if you want. Well, by the way, I haven't got my stove and refrigerator yet. Or my washer and dryer. I just haven't felt like fucking with it, to be honest with you. I haven't felt that great. And I'm just a single guy, I got like shit tons of clothes. I could probably not wash anything for 4 months. So it's not a big deal. And I'm like, I eat out a lot. And I got a microwave. That's good enough. I mean, I know I'm hillbilly. But I'll have that by the time people visit. But if I don't, I'm warning you. You got a nice new shower, everything, good water pressure, beautiful views. Just go do your thing, come and go. You know what I mean? And then I'm not minding it. Where if I think it's someone that's gonna want to be like hanging around all together, it's like, oh God, whole fucking week. Are you kidding me? This was a problem with not wanting to be married either. And it wasn't like fights or I didn't mind taking them with me, but I've been dropped off in the woods for like, almost 2.5 months. Even in high school, I took vacations alone. And even with girlfriends and shit, and like wives, it's like, oh my God, a whole fucking week. And it wasn't that it was bad, but I like fucking around, going out, taking photos late at night. Maybe I'll sleep in, maybe I won't. And when somebody's around, they're getting up early. They're not doing everything the same as you. And I think that's just enough to make me not want to do it. I don't know. I'm not complaining, but I try and put all the cards on the table. There's no surprises here. Right up front, no fucking around. And it seems rude, I know, and like too assertive sometimes. I wouldn't say that's true. Maybe people aren't used to it. But you'll always know where you stand. Hey, I see that hunting property just went up for sale there. You'll always know where you stand. I gotta remember this road right here. I just called a real estate guy about 300 more acres. The property's going up here. And why do I want to buy it? Well, I really don't. But I don't want... chicken plants can't build any more places down here. They put a moratorium on them, which, as it turns out, I guess is a good idea. I mean, I live far enough out in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to get me too bad. But I believe it or not, I enjoy not hearing cars and stuff. It's crazy. I think I'd like really struggle with moving to where I heard noise now. And what's odd about this is why I say get to know yourself. I thought I wanted to live out in the wild until I did it. After about a week, I was going nuts. I'll never do it again. And even though I like living in situations like this, I need to be an hour away from a Barnes & Noble, a good restaurant, stuff like that. I do. Hours about my limit. I'm willing to drive all the time, which I do, which is why I rack up these crazy miles in my vehicles. Yeah, it's a 100-mile round trip for me to go get a good bagel and a book and sushi or whatever, and I'm fine with it. Because, you know, that's what it takes to be this isolated. So just tell the truth to yourself. You know what you like, what you don't like. Just come out and say it. People change. This party. I don't think I'll ever drink again, to tell you the truth. At least I hope not. So there has been a silver lining. I'm trying to like be stoic and kind of like a Buddhist and like just embrace the positive. And yeah, I did have a stomach problem and I did lose weight, but look what came of it. I'm in shape. I'm trying to get it fixed. I don't drink anymore. I don't eat red meat. I haven't had anything fried. So I look at the good and try and ignore the bad. I try. It's a struggle, believe me. I'd rather dwell on the bad. It's fucking crazy. And just kicking it. They still got their Christmas decorations up. I noticed that a lot yesterday around Gibson. I went to Gibson, Georgia. That's where I was. I think it's Braswell County. A lot of mobile homes all over, four-wheelers, dirt bikes. It's good old country living. Pole barns, hillbilly music playing. Good for them. It's a super cool guy that I bought the weights off of. Hauls chicken crap around. He goes to these chicken places and regrets all the poop. I said, where's it go? What do you do with it? He said they spread it on farmers' fields for fertilizer. Now he said, this is old information, but those chicken things, those big houses, he said they were $500,000 a piece, but he says that's old news. I wouldn't doubt that it cost $1 million per building. Now, at the expense of sounding racist, this is going to sound crazy to you, but the blacks down here, in general now, don't be cherry-picking bullshit. They don't want the Vietnamese down here and the Chinese. They're all pissed off they're coming in and building these chicken things. And that's just the way it is. That's the scuttlebutt around here now. And I say to the black guy, hey, I'm white. What about me? It's like, that's old school now, man. You know, we're fucking with the Chinese and the Vietnamese and their chicken houses. Oh, okay. Isn't that interesting? I've found since I've been down here 3 years, zero problem or issues with race. As a matter of fact, from my experience down here, overall, okay? And I had to make a choice. In 5 minutes, you took me, there's 10,000 black people and 10,000 white people. I'd take hanging around with the blacks down here compared to my experience. I just would. From law enforcement all the way down to running into them casually, places, knowing them. Overall, like, just great people. Every time, when I'm doing these long walks, somebody black pulls over, wants to know if I need a ride. It's never anybody white. That's just a sample of something that you wouldn't have known about otherwise. Polite, super great etiquette. I'd live in Section 8 housing down here in a heartbeat. It's not like Chicago and Atlanta and Detroit. It's nice. See people out picking up papers. It's cultural. It's not by race. Like that nice kid I saw when that guy was throwing up in Athens a while back. His parents raised him right. He wanted to know what was up. He saw a guy with an issue, and as a young college kid wanted to help. Yeah. Thought that was quite a nice gesture. I'm debating which Starbucks I'm going to go to today. I will keep my constant vigilance up, looking for young people in a Starbucks drinking water. I will buy them a nice drink and get them a nice gift card. Now, here's another truthful tidbit too. I'm more inclined to do it for blacks than whites. It's nuts, isn't it? Now, what do you want to write an article about that? Upload a video about that? Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Now, just think if I was the other way around. It's like, I go to these Starbucks and I want to make sure that I buy these drinks for the whites. Oh, you'd be all over that shit. Oh, hell yeah. That'd get me a damn strike, probably. Yeah, that'd be a hot potato, wouldn't it? That'd get you some damn views. But not the other way around. Isn't that interesting, though? I think it is. Well, you guys be kicking it. You rock on. Peace to the Jizzo.